Welcome back to the secret headquarters, aka my office right here at Save Toys headquarters. I'm your lovable yet sometimes scatterbrained and with a cold host, Travis, and today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Selects Moon Knight. Now, before we go any further, I want to say congratulations. We hit 1,006 subscribers by the filming of this episode on season 4 as we're just about to wrap that up, and we are so excited. Thank you, everybody, for all you've done to make this happen. This is Save Toys.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Da-da-da-da-da. Thunder! Thunder! Thundercats! Oh, Save Toys! If you like it, collect it.
Collect it, oh boy. I got a new toy. Oh boy.
Save Toys loves kids.
Oh boy. I got a new toy. Oh boy. If you like it,
Nobody stopped him.
collect it, oh boy. I got a new toy. Oh boy. I got a safe toy. Oh boy. I got a new toy. Oh boy. If you like it, collect it, oh boy.
Saved Toys. The fans have
Oh
spoken!
boy. Oh boy, if you like it, collect it, oh boy.
And this is the Marvel Selects Moon Knight. Now, if you have Disney Plus, it's the cold. If you have Disney Plus, I'm sure you know about the miniseries Moon Knight. I watched every episode. It's fantastic. A little wonky, crazy. You really have to dedicate yourself to the show, kind of like WandaVision, where there's going to be some slower times, but if you dedicate yourself to the show, it's well worth it. And I really hope they'll have a second season of that. I hope they don't just drop it off and leave it, because it's such a great character. Now, I'm sure people watching this episode know a little bit about the history of Moon Knight. He is empowered by the god Khonshu, and he has this internal struggle where he has multiple people, multiple versions of Moon Knight. You have the suit and tie, you have the Moon Knight like this with the cape and all, and they're constantly fighting for who's going to be in control, which way are they going to go, but they're all empowered by Khonshu, the Egyptian god. And so very conflicted, very interesting character. And like I said, my figure is in the Marvel Select version. Now, I know a lot of people like Marvel Legends better. They generally have more articulation. But what I really like, several things about Marvel Selects. First off, as a company, they don't necessarily change them every year. So they kind of sell for the same amount, whether it's this year or next year, which, unlike Marvel Legends, which can go up and down depending on the character, how often they're made, different other things I'm sure factor into that. Marvel Selects kind of stay about the same price, and not to say it doesn't fluctuate at all, but as a business decision, I think that's better for the consumer. I don't understand why it would be any harder on the, like Hasbro to do something like what Marvel Selects does. It just seems the only part that seems to be a downer is on the secondary market, where the more popular the character is, since it's only made that one time in that version, it's harder to get a hold to, so it drives the prices up. Now, one thing Marvel Legends does do is they release, like, how many Wolverines are we going to get, which I love about every one they've released. But that does help to kind of keep the value down a little bit. If you couldn't get like the Juggernaut Wave classic suit Wolverine, maybe you could get like the retro packed figure, which is basically the same figure with the little touch-ups. But I digress. Another thing people sometimes may say and criticize about Marvel Selects is it doesn't have as much articulation as, say, Marvel Legends. But I tend to like that a little bit better, because there is a point where too much articulation makes the figure, as it gets older, real loose and hard to stand up. But one thing I love about Marvel Selects too is the absolute detail, the shading on the cape. Let's get that in camera. And just the paint job. I love the paint effects on Marvel Selects. They are generally to me, a little bit better than Marvel Legends. Now, again, the articulation, he doesn't have double joints, but they do click nice and tight. Same thing right here on the elbow. He doesn't have like any crunch on the in the abdomen, but he does have a slight side to side. Now, as far as pack ends, since mine was bought aftermarket just to figure out of the package, I don't know if there was anything else that came with him like in package, but he has his little look. I'm sure there's people that know better than me. Little Moon Knight batarang kind of things. Here, let's get that in camera. Got two of them. They kind of stick together and fit really comfortably in his hand. Very well done. The detail. They've got some battle damage on them, and I really like that because you expect a great character like Moon Knight to get a little damage in battle and for that to show up on his weapons to give more of a realistic effect. Now, the cape is not cloth goods. It is hard plastic. That's one thing that I can go both ways, you know, because I do like cloth goods, but yeah, they're going to dry rot and wear out more quicker than, say, plastic. Plus, this cape tends to stay in place. Great paint effects, black inside, silver out here with shading on it. Really well done. Gray shading on the inside. I love the face on this one, how the little hood kind of is actually, you can see separate from the actual face. It's not just painted on or glued on. It does kind of give some dimension there. So all in all, this is a great figure to own if you can find it at a good price. I got mine on eBay. I had a great seller that actually had best offer, and I offered him less than what he was putting it up there for. He accepted it, great shipping. So I had no problem acquiring this figure. I really love it. I know since the Disney Plus series came out, there's been a rise in the cost of Moon Knights. They've kind of gotten astronomical, but when I bought this one, I really got a super price. So maybe you can find something really good on eBay or on the aftermarket, and I hope you do. If you do, definitely get this figure. It is a good figure to have in your collection. One more thing I want to talk about. Whereas Marvel Legends are 6-inch scale, these are 7-inch scale, which doesn't actually mean the figure's actually 7 inches. It means it scales with 7-inch figures. So very quickly, I want to measure this guy and see how he is. So got my, if you can say, handy dandy tape measure. Blue's Clues kind of ruined that for everybody. Everything's handy dandy now. So, but he is right at 7 inches. So I will say that this one stacks up really well. And thank you for joining us again here at Save Toys for this review. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let us know in the comments if you are able to pick this figure up at a pretty good deal on the secondary market, or if you find it in person, be sure to get it. Thank you again for joining us for this review. Thank you for being a part of the Save Toys family and helping us reach this 1,006 subscribe goal by the end of season 4. I can't undervalue what you've done to help us get here. Now, you know I wrap up every single episode of the Save Toys show with, if you like it, collect it. It's kind of our catchphrase, like a 90s sitcom, if you will. Well, today, you know, being that I have a little bit of a cold, I got some special help from a super fan, Bentley Spikes. He's going to actually do the line for me. So, Bentley, take it away, my friend.
If you like it, collect it.
Hello, Marcellus, KRILEY here again. I'm here in the backyard early in the morning at my home, KRILEY Estates. But man, what a big deal. 1,000+ subscribers. Just keep going. And thanks to everybody liking and sharing and getting out. You know, here at Save Toys, we try to have fun, and you know, with all the toys and the figures, and we're trying to bring you something serious at the same time, something very important, life-giving. And so I'm here with another little quick devotional. And before I go too much farther, let me just say that Travis, I think you might have lost your catchphrase. He might have to be the new guy to do it. You know, he did an awesome job, man. Loved it. So, but as got me thinking, you know, Moon Knight, he had You know, I was reading like either different multiple people live inside them, or personalities, or struggling for position to have control. But what it got me thinking is, you know, we as believers, you know, we also have people trying to fight for control over our mind and our lives. You know, we got the Holy Spirit, we got the world, the flesh, and the devil. You know, all of them speaking to us, um, you know, throughout our lives, throughout our day. Sometimes it seems like all at once. But I think of a Bible verse, and forgive me because I do not remember the exact address where it's at in the Bible, but it does say those, this is just paraphrase, basically it says that the people, the ones that keep their minds focused on Christ, remain in perfect peace. I mean, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. So if we are constantly thinking about Him, if we are continually thinking on spiritual things, I was reading Romans where, you know, those, when our minds are focused upon things of the flesh, or desires of the flesh, you know, I can't think of how to put it, but anyways, we're not at peace. For the flesh and the spirit, they wage war against each other, and the mind of the flesh is opposed to the things of God. So it says it's violent, it's hostile. That's the word I was looking. The things of the flesh, the mind of the flesh is hostile towards the things of God. And when we have our mind set upon the Spirit, upon spiritual things, then we're at peace and will produce fruits of righteousness. I know in Philippians it also says to, you know, think about things that are normal, things that are noble, things that are true, praiseworthy, trustworthy, and you know, so it's important. I mean, the battlefield is in the mind, you know, where it also says that as a man thinks, so is he, you know. So it's no coincidence, and it's, I think it's also very important that we got to think about that. You know, the scripture tells us multiple times, you know, think upon things above, think upon God, think upon heaven, think upon Jesus, think upon things of righteousness, and we'll have peace. You know, again, as I said, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. If we think about Him, if we keep our minds focused upon Him, we will be at peace, regardless of what goes on in our world, regardless of what goes on in our daily lives. We will be at peace. Think about Him. So again, thanks for joining and tuning in. You know, continue to watch, support. You know, like, subscribe, share. I mean, if you're already subscribed, thank you. Share with other people that you know, might need to hear these little messages. Share with people that, you know, maybe don't believe, but they enjoy toys. You know. So once again, thank you.
Oh boy,
Be blessed,
oh boy,
and you know the rest.
I got a new toy. Oh boy, I got a safe toy. Oh boy, I got a new toy. Oh boy, if you like it, collect it. Oh boy, I got a new toy. Oh boy, I got a safe toy. Oh boy, I got a new toy. Oh boy, if you like it, collect it.